A little bit on that installation of that motor on that frame. I got that motor off of a 200S with a frame, and the other's a 185. But on that 185, it didn't come with a starter. And I noticed on the 200S or 200M, it came with a starter, but there was an indentation right there in the frame, and I couldn't get the motor mounts to line up onto that frame over there. So what I ended up doing was cutting this piece out and forming it and welding it into this frame here. You can see that. I think you can. And also it's going to be, I have to change the top mount. I had to cut that top mount out of there. Let's see, where am I? Right about there somewhere, I think. If you can see that. And I had to cut that out, so when I go to put the motor back in there, I'm going to have to realign that top mount. So anyone that is ever interested in doing something like this, just be aware you're going to have to cut that out. Now what I was going to do was I was going to just cut that piece of metal out and reverse it with the indentation. But that looked kind of like a garage job. So I thought I would just do it that way, which makes it look more of the original. And the reason why those mounts wouldn't line up is because of the starter. The starter kept hitting that frame. It wouldn't allow that engine to drop just that 1/4 of an inch that I needed to line the holes up. There's the heart of the machine right there. I'll show you what I was talking about when it comes to that starter hitting up against the frame there. It indentates over there. I couldn't get the back, these bolts to line up. Now I got to work on coming up with a bracket to go from here to there, and this is where all the fun is. It's just too bad I wasn't 20 years younger to really enjoy this thing. Also, because of the suspension on this thing, that's different from that one. I can't put the the chain cover on without cutting this little notch out for that bolt down there. But on the other one, it doesn't have a bolt for the suspension in the rear, and this cover covers the whole thing. But I'm going to cut this out in order for that to fit. I'll show you what I did. Here, let me lower this radio down. Show you what I did to resolve that issue with the upper mount. This is what I had to end up doing, was just welding an additional plate to the other side, so when I can take the motor off, I can take the motor off from the right side of the unit. I was able to get that side cover on there. I had to do a little bit of cutting. I had to cut around here, down in here, because evidently this cover isn't the same cover as this 200M motor. All I got to do now is clean up that mount a little bit, paint it to make it look custom, I guess. Okay, I'll bring you back when I finish that. I scavenged another part off this bike, which is the battery tray. Cut it out of here, and I installed it on here. I didn't account for that cable on the carburetor coming up, so I had to cut into that little neck there a little bit in order for it to come straight up and have free play into the throttle. But I had to install a battery box, because that's where all the electrical hooks up to the back of that box, and it's pretty strong. I welded some re-rod in there, not re-rod, but just some round stock to make it pretty stable. I had to make sure that there was enough clearance for an air filter in the back of that carburetor. I got a feeling I might not have to. I got some of them rubber necks. Might be able to bring it down, and then down here, you know, from the carburetor down to here. But otherwise, I'm afraid I might have to cut this out a little bit in here. But we'll see when the time comes. I might be able to get away with just putting like a rubber elbow and then having the air filter sit down in this area. I had to go out and buy a new chain. The other chain was just wrecked, and which was no big deal. And let's see, I got all new cables for it, new brake cables. I got the 1 foot brake cable, and then I've got a hand brake that goes to the back. And I bought an extra hand brake cable to the back because it's long enough to go for those forks in the front. So let's see what's next. So I just thought I'd throw this up there and show you guys the progress, and show you I'm still working at it, and it's getting there. So y'all have a good one today and a better one tomorrow.